Well, let's look at federal issues. Labor is looking to seize back control of the narrative on migration after the detainee debacle of last month. They now say Australia needs to crack down on migration. Here's Anthony Albanese.
By ensuring Australia can get the skilled workers that Australia needs, but putting an end to any abuse and any rorts. Treasury forecasts show that migration is expected to decline substantially over the coming financial year. The new migration strategy we'll announce this week will bring migration back to sustainable levels.
Kel, about time the government announced they'd do something on migration?
Yes, and the interesting thing is he came across this policy by going through the documents of Peter Dutton. Like most of the recent really good decisions by this government, they come from the... Peter Dutton is just about the Prime Minister of Australia in opposition. It's just amazing. Until tomorrow, we'll get the details. When the details come out, we'll know whether this is serious numbers or not. But I just worry that it's yet more. We'll stop the rorts and we'll get it back to proper levels, which means under his rule it was not proper levels. So I have no confidence until I hear tomorrow's details, and even then I won't have a lot of confidence.
We were accepting a lot of people, 500,000 per year for a 24 million person population nation. Think about America, for example. Since I think 2007, they've taken on average about 1 million immigrants per year. They have 130 million. So we were just shy of that. It's absolutely insane. We have a housing crisis here at the moment. And unfortunately, I think it's likely not going to be enough, whatever Albanese says, because I don't think he understands the gravity of the situation. You know, charity comes from prosperity, and it doesn't come at the cost of necessity. You have Australians who can't even be prosperous right now. They just need the basic necessities. They need petrol to be reasonable, groceries to be reasonable, mortgages to be reasonable. And here we are, even having to have this conversation. It's absolutely insane that we're in this position to begin with. We shouldn't have been allowed to get here. And I'm not saying we shouldn't be charitable, but it doesn't come by sacrificing Australians.
But this is not a charitable migration program we're talking about. This is a skilled migration program to fix the skills shortages that we already have, to plug the gap. So
there are plenty of skilled workers who were let off because they didn't get a vaccine.
No, but there are plenty of employers who say they simply cannot find skilled or unskilled workers in Australia to fill the gaps they need.
Isn't this a situation where Albanese's created a problem and now he says, but don't worry, I'm going to solve it.
Absolutely.
Your champion.
The problem is that they were warned about this months ago. Peter Dutton even said in his budget reply speech, he said deliberately that the migrant situation is going to worsen the cost of living and the housing problem.
Right.
And here we are. The questionable timing is that this announcement's towards the end of the year after a shocker of a week for the federal government, and in the dying days of the year, they come out, they're going to make this big announcement. In the end, this has been on the cards for years. We've got a tight rental market, which is a key driver for inflation. Migration's always been a problem. It's always been a problem. And to be honest, I don't think either side of government has had what it takes to try and tackle it. It's an uncomfortable conversation for government.
Any politician who does.
But again, we're not talking about refugees here. We are talking about people who fill shortages in our workforce.
It is good for the economy. So many times on my radio show, and his complaint is neither major party has had an immigration policy.
Correct.
It's not that they got the numbers wrong. They didn't have any numbers.
No.
And so far, I haven't heard any sort of immigration plan from Albanese. Let's wait and see what tomorrow turns up.
You know, the thing I noted about his conference is he said, tomorrow we will announce that we have a plan. And I thought, Elbow, whatever you say, don't say we've heard that you've got a plan about cost of living.
It's about a reasonable migration plan. And that is not a difficult ask. As you said, Evelyn, it's been, 500,000 people in 12 months.
It's crazy.
We don't have the infrastructure for it. We don't have the housing for it.